keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, 'cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, 'cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my... Want a microphone, morning. I just want a microphone, morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, 'cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, 'cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my...
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates,
your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and the region,
with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candice Jackson.
And I am Denise Dempster. Here's a look at your news in 90 seconds.
The PDP plans to spread its wings in Trinidad. Deputy Chief Secretary and political leader of the PDP, Watson Duke, has released a short video clip on social media platforms announcing that in a couple weeks' time, the party will move from being a Tobago-based party to a national party. He also hinted that they will be contesting the local government elections, which are due later this year. In honor of World Down Syndrome Day, Does Fit Studios hosted a 3K walk and run. All participants were encouraged to rock their socks as a show of support for persons affected by the genetic disease. The walk and run started at the Mount Pleasant Hard Court and ended at the Buku Boardwalk. The official day is observed today. This year's celebrations are centered around the theme of empowering people around the world to advocate for full inclusion in society for people with Down syndrome and everyone else. Magdalena's golf course is poised to be a part of a national golf tourism trust. At the launch of TNT's Golf Association opening tournament, Minister of Trade and Industry Paula Gopiskun stated how much work has been done to improve the golf course, with new equipment purchased and staff hired, and the manicuring of the greens. Some more work needs to be done, but together with other golf courses in Trinidad, Gopi School hopes to maximize tourism gain in golf. The tournament teed off yesterday in Tobago and moves on to other golf courses in Trinidad, with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley as one of the participants. And that was news in 90 seconds.
Such a major development happening with the PDP as relates to moving to Trinidad. One would say that is a very bold move considering the demographics is a bit different from the Tobago population.
Of course, but him since he began his political career back in 2015. That was his goal. His goal was always to be a national party, and he poised the PDP to be such. So started with the THA elections. Well, of course, he started as an independent candidate in 2015, and then after that elections, he was able to, launch the PDP and get the ball growing from there.
Yeah, and myself and everybody watching is very excited to see what the outcome of this situation would be, if it would be a situation where persons are accepting the PDP party down in Trinidad, because like I said before, Tobago is a different population, so they would have different issues on a larger basis. So I'm very excited to see the turnout of this move.
Right.
Switching gears, today is World Down Syndrome Day.
Yes. And of course, like I said in the earlier story, it's about, empowering people to be accepting of each other. Down syndrome is a genetic disease that affects a lot of people around in the world, but it doesn't mean that it can't be a part of us.
And this specific day also educates persons on how to deal with someone who has Down syndrome, because sometimes you may be placed in situations where you may have to really have understanding and a lot more patience than regular. So today is all about educating persons and celebrating these persons who you said have this genetic disease.
Right, and they do have a place in society.
They do.
They are actually quite intelligent. They might not do things the way we do, but they are quite intelligent people, and they can be used in so many different ways. So, we need to get to a point. I mean, we usually, if there's somebody a little bit different from us, there's always a side looks and this scorning attitude.
Yeah.
And persons need to move away from that.
And they make it known that they are normal people. I can do the same things that you do. It may take me a little longer. I may need help along the way. But I am a normal person, and therefore I should be treated as such.
Right, and then now moving on to the discussions today. Well, today is also World Forestry Day.
Yes.
So we are going to be speaking a little bit about the forests and so on, which are so important to our health and just everything that we are on this island.
Yes, we will be having an interview today with Mr. Darren Henry, and he's going to shed light, as you said, on why is today special and what are some facts about the forest that we need to know about.
Right, and then I'll be taking you inside the rainforest itself so that you can see and experience for yourself a little bit more about that, and then again just to get a deeper understanding and for us to help preserve that environment and make sure that we keep it going for as long as possible.
Yes, most
All right.
definitely.
So that's it from us for right now. So but we'll be right back after the break, so please folks don't go anywhere. On the microphone. Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products
that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
I faked a migraine to skip my in-laws' anniversary.
I call all my girlfriends babe, so I don't mix up their names.
I always pick fights before my boyfriend's birthday, so I don't have to buy him a gift.
Some secrets are too good to keep, like the KFC secret recipe bucket with 9 pieces of chicken and 5 regular sides for $129. Only at KFC.
The theme for this year is that of sustainable production from our forests, from our watersheds and so on. And what better place to talk about those things than from the world's oldest rainforest in the Western Hemisphere.
The theme for International Forest Day is the role of forests in ensuring sustainable production and consumption. To learn more about this, we explore our own rainforest. Our quest begins on the famous Gilpin Trail on a crisp, cold morning. Almost immediately upon entering, our ears were serenaded by the calls of many birds, songs not heard anywhere else on the island. Along the trail, there was much to discover, like the nests of mudmut, or king of the woods. Did you know their nests are holes in the soil? Well, I learned that fact along the trail. We were also introduced to a genius little spider called a trapdoor spider because it creates its own trapdoor mechanism at the entrance to its home. The sound of more birds, some familiar and others not, alerted us to a special hummingbird found only in Tobago and Venezuela. Naturally, birds and spiders are not the only creatures found in the rainforest. It is also home to little critters like this healthy-looking squirrel. Not long afterwards, the trail revealed to us one of the treasures of the main ridge rainforest, the Golden Waterfall.
So to tell us a little bit more about World Forest Day, we are here with the Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, Secretary Natisha Charles Manton. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Tobago.
All right, and of course we are here in Gilpin Trail at one of the famous Golden Waterfalls. But before we talk a little bit more about that, let me know about why we are on this tour, why we are going through the forest, and why is World Forest Day so important?
World Forest Day is important because without forests, we wouldn't be alive. We wouldn't be able to sustain our livelihoods in Tobago, right? So if you think about when you drink a glass of water, or you write in a book, or you take medicine, even when you go to a farmer and you buy produce, everything starts and ends with the forest. The forest, because of the oxygen, because the rainforests attract rains, Tobago really survives on this tiny forest that exists on the island. So that's why it's important that we protect our forests. And what I want to do, I want to encourage my fellow Tobagonians to continue to think about financial and economic empowerment. How can we further use our natural resources to become sustainable in what we do? right? So if you would have heard Mr. Henry earlier in the tour, he mentioned the use of bamboo, right? Across Tobago, bamboo has invaded a lot of the natural forests that we have. So how can we promote the bamboo industry? So I want to encourage all of us to start thinking out of the box, do the research, come up with ways in which we can utilize our natural resources to empower ourselves economically.
And of course, that kind of thinking comes out of the theme for World Forest Day, which is about sustainable development. So tell me a little bit about more and like some of the ideas that the division is thinking about how persons can help develop themselves sustainably from the forest.
Okay, so the forest is linked to the sea as well, right? So you can engage in tour guiding, you can engage in planting more trees, and if you look at the science of it, trees not only attract water, but it encourages in water to infiltrate into the aquifers, right? So water is necessary for all aspects of our lives, right, in terms of consumption. So we must practice wise use of our natural resources. And even if you look at the coast, all those livelihoods assigned to the coast, attached to the coastline, where the fishermen would depend on, you know, the mangroves, for example, because mangroves are forests as well. And those mangrove forests, it's an ecosystem for shrimp and other fishes, right? So the forest is really linked to our livelihoods. So we have to continue wise use, right? And of course, we have to instill in our young generation that we must take care of what we have now for the future generation.
And then part of instilling that into our youths is to have tours like this and to get people to learn about why our forest is.
Yes, when you sit at home and you look at the forest, it's a totally different experience from when you actually walk through the forest. When you enter into here, you can tell that the climate, the microclimate, it was totally different. You feel cool, the oxygen, it was fresh, clean air, and you see the different interactions, whether it's symbiotic or parasitic. So you understand the whole dynamics, you know, all those relationships involved in the ecosystem. So I will encourage people to continue to come out in Tobago, have a feel of what Tobago has to offer in terms of its natural resources.
All right, folks. So, I mean, this tour is going to be going on for a couple more weekends. So you can come on, just get in touch with the division and come on down and experience the forest for yourself. Because we know that persons in Tobago don't necessarily know about the forest. We know that we have the world's oldest rainforest in the Western Hemisphere. But how many of us have actually been in here? I mean, and then if you look behind me, I mean, how often do you see things like this, phenomena like this? I mean, of course, we have the Golden Waterfall, and the color is caused by the iron that is found in the water. It's just one of the many treasures that we have here in this, our beautiful island of Tobago. Off to find a waterfall in Lamy Road for the second part of the tour. We all know about Argyle Waterfall, but not far away exists this little treasure, not known to many. I was amazed at its existence and how accessible it was. It was certainly a sight to behold. The waterfall, Secretary Charles Panton drew our attention to a flower which is indigenous to Tobago. It is called Tobago Bow or forest rose. It has a lot of medicinal properties as well.
So Lamy Road Waterfall is a waterfall I've been to many times because I used to work with the Department of Natural Resources and Forestry. and it is one of the areas that we used to manage. Now, as part of the International Day of Forest, its celebration, I just wanted to show all my guests today that if you protect the rainforest, this is one of the products that you will get from its protection, right? So you're going to protect the natural resources and the tourism product.
All right, and of course this waterfall is just poised, and I mean it's so beautiful, and you don't expect it in the back here. I mean everybody knows about Argyle waterfall, but they don't know about this.
Yes, indeed. It's a hidden treasure, and I'm going to ensure that, under our executive, that we're going to protect it as well.
Right. And are there any plans to sort of, develop the place a little bit more just to enhance the beauty?
We will enhance the beauty of all the waterfalls across Tobago, right? As one step at a time, we're going to get there.
All right, great, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this journey with me. And if you want to be a part of it, well, just get in contact with the social media pages, and you too could get to experience Tobago, experience some things that you've never seen. It's all in our backyard. So folks, come on out, pull on some proper shoes, some clothes, and just get out here and have some fun. So that's it for me, Candice Jackson at Lamy Waterfall, and it is back to you in studio.
Welcome back. It's 6:51 on this magnificent Monday. With us is Mr. Darren Henry, Assistant Conservator of Forest. Welcome and good morning.
Thank you and good morning. And good morning, Tobago.
What is World Forest Day and why is it so important?
World Forest Day is an international day celebrated throughout many countries. It was actually established on the 21st of March in 2012 by the United Nations General Assembly as a means of having people become aware of the roles of different forest types and the important role that forest types will play in our lives and livelihood globally.
What are some need-to-know facts about the forest, especially the Main Ridge?
The Main Ridge Forest Reserve, as you might know, is the oldest forest reserve in the Western Hemisphere. It dates as far back as 1765. Actually, that is when the whole advocacy began to create the reserve. Actually, the legislation came through in 1776, where this parliamentarian, he was the Minister of Trade and Plantation at the time, and he would have lobbied the Parliament for 11 years, from 65 to 1766, to have the forest reserve being proclaimed a forest reserve. So since then, it's basically a forest reserve, and it's really important to us because of the water that we get, the food, the medicine, the recreation opportunities, the aesthetics, very important to us.
What is the fatal consequence of the destruction of the forest?
Oh, well, deforestation, we know the consequence of deforestation. We're talking about flooding, we're talking about loss of livelihoods, all the beaches on the Atlantic side and on the Caribbean side of the island will be destroyed. The whole economic activity in Tobago will crash. Every sector in Tobago will crash. The forest is the backbone of all economic activity in Tobago, and we kind of want to make a lobby for that the government put the necessary resources into it, because it's important. You wouldn't have a job if you didn't have a forest, because the place would have been uninhabitable. You would not be able to live here. Talking about no water, bad air, no recreation, anytime rainfall, flooding, devastation. So the forestry is the main component of any ecosystem or any societal survival.
What are some burning problems that need to be addressed with respect to how well we take care of our forests?
In terms of burning questions that need to be addressed, we want to look at the education. We need to educate people more on the use of the forest. We have challenges with poaching in the forest reserve, because the forest reserve in every village from Morag all the way around to Lansome and Charlottesville back down to Mount St. George, they have easy access to the forest. So you cannot really control it properly who enters the forest reserve, because you could enter it from so many villages. So that is a challenge that we are facing. We're talking about invasive species coming in, overuse of some of the resources within the forest. Those are some of the challenges that we face, and obviously we are challenged with our HR resources in terms of policing and enforcing the necessary regulations on the forest.
So how well can we properly educate the public on what needs to be done with respect to the forest and it's being taken care of as it relates to the importance of it?
Well, one of the things is through advocacy, through education, through outreach, as I'm here presently trying to inform the populace about the importance of the rainforest. So we need to do more education, we need to do more lobbying, and we're trying to get more local people into the outdoors, because to be honest, this way that when you think about outdoor, you think about bush. You don't want to go bush, snake, mosquito, but then it have a lot of intrinsic value in having people go out there and you build consensus just in case people want to do things that are detrimental to the forest and the environment, that you have advocacy and people protect the area basically.
How important is climate change?
Climate change is very important. As you see, climate change is also real, and forest is like the Superman in terms of the climate change challenge. Forestry is basically a keystone, like trees are keystone species in terms of the fight against climate change, and climate change is real. You can see drying out of the forest. We have had about 2 fires in the forest reserve in the last 10 years because of the weather, and we have species ranges could change. Plants that are normally on the southwestern side, you could see them encroaching closer and closer to the main ridge forest reserve because of the whole climate change, and that could cause problems. We have species ranges could change. So climate change is really real, but in order to combat that, we just need to keep our forests in good contact. And I must say that Tobago, about 2/3 of the island is under forest cover, so which is very good, and we hope to keep it, not lose it, and also increase it.
You spoke about poaching. Could you explain what that is?
Well, you have hunters. Hunters are those who will buy their permits and obey the law, hunt legally. And then poachers are those who hunt out of the season, basically. They have no remorseful laws or regulation. And we have hunt people who hunt legally, and then those guys who just feel that the resources are theirs to be used anytime without thinking about the sustainable aspect of it.
So, what is your opinion on making sure that our animals are protected in this forest and not necessarily being taken advantage of? Because they play a important part too.
Yes, the forest cannot survive without the animals, because they help to spread seeds around. We just have to do enforcement, education, and research. We really have to push education and research along with enforcement to treat that aspect of it, and each one tell one, target the trend, because some of the adults are fixing their ways. You can't really change their mindset, so target the schools, target the young people, and have them go home to their parents and have a change of behavior. That's how I will approach it.
And moving forward, what would you like to see on a general consensus?
I would like to see a change in the culture in terms of people think that some of the wildlife resources are inexhaustible, so they hunt at will. And I would also like to see that the main ridge forest is actually on the 13th of April this year. It will be 246 years old, and it's still free. So I'm hoping that people will pay a user fee to enter the forest reserve so we can maintain it, because we spend thousands of dollars to maintain the trails, and the tour guides, the tour operators, they reap all the benefit, and the government just spending money to maintain the trails, to upgrade. And sometimes you ask for assistance, and they do a tree on the trail, we had to come in and cut it, and they passing it all the time with their cutlass and all those kind of things. So there are tour guides who will help, but there are others who would not help, and they're just reaping the benefits of it. So I would really like to see that the government implement a user fee structure for the forest. Of 246 years of freeness is too much.
There you have it, folks. Mr. Darren Henry, who has shed light on what is World Forest Day and why it is important and why it is necessary for the public to consider and take care of our environment. We will be right back after this break.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
to Good Morning Tobago and Tobago Updates. Now, we just heard from Mr. Darren Henry and even the Secretary in the Division of Natural Resources and so on, and they were talking specifically about how we really do need to protect the forest. You know, this is something that as students, like, you know, you get taught about the forest and so on, but that knowledge seems to kind of go out the window as you go older, and then you completely forget about, you know, the importance of these little things that are essential to our existence.
Yes, it was a very in-depth conversation, and what I really liked about Mr. Henry's interview, he went really in-depth and he said why we need the forest, you know, to prevent floods. You know, we wouldn't be able to breathe, we wouldn't be able to live, we wouldn't be able to be normal. And sometimes these things are taken for granted. We sometimes forget that these things are there for a reason.
Right.
And we definitely do what is necessary and what we need to do in order to protect our environment. It's very important.
And tomorrow we're going to find out a little bit about the wildlife and so on, and why those creatures in there are very important. But for now, that's all the time that we have. And up next, it's Ria and Julian with the Tobago Updates Morning Show.
Bye.
I just want a microphone. Morning. I just want a microphone. Morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, 'cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, 'cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my...
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing.
I faked a migraine to skip my in-laws' anniversary.
I call all my girlfriends babe, so I don't mix up their names.
I always pick fights before my boyfriend's birthday, so I don't have to buy him a gift.
Some secrets are too good to keep, like the KFC secret recipe bucket with 9 pieces of chicken and 5 regular sides for $129. Only at KFC.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. place. Good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7 a.m. and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show. It's Monday, 21st of March, 2022. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Rhea Richardson George. And this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Those of you in the Caribbean and those of you viewing us on the live. Good morning, morning, Julian Skeet. It is Monday, the 21st of March.
Yes, Monday, the 21st of March. Rhea, beautiful start. A beautiful start to the week, Rhea. I must indicate that I have had an eventful kind of weekend.
I wonder when do you not have an eventful weekend?
And this weekend was, even more filled because of the fact that we, as you would be aware, we would have interviewed her here on Tobago Updates last week, our visiting district governor in the Rotary family. So it involved the lineup of being able to share with her the island, showcasing the island and the space and so on.
I see the tiredness in your eyes.
Well, we had the island and the space from early morning well into late night. And similarly, yesterday, a very successful initiative taking place at the Table Peace Government Primary School, where we would have also had the support of the Secretary with Responsibility for Education and area representative, who happens to be the same individual, Secretary Zarisha Hackett, really coming to lend her support, not just saying, y'all go ahead and I like this. No, coming on the ground, coming on spot to lend her support in terms of the initiative taking place within her electoral district. Long, but rewarding kind of weekend.
I'm happy to hear. We also saw last week, Julian, a visit by the Panamanian ambassador.
Yes, correct.
Sylvia Miller.
Yes.
Now, Saturday morning, I was able to meet up with her at the Scarborough Market. She wanted an authentic Tobago market experience. So for the very first time, she had her cocoa tea. She tasted our indigenous chocolate tea.
Yes.
So she had cup in hand walking through the market. So she had a taste of the coconut bake with smoked fish, etc. Yes. So she had a really good time. I think she just wanted to have the experience of hearing, "Oi, morning, how mommy? Tell granny hello for me." She really she had a good morning there.
And
Saturday.
I think that's beautiful, beautiful indeed in terms of that connection with how we operate. Rhea, what's today?
Well, a couple things happening today. We've got World Down Syndrome Day as well as World Forest Day being commemorated today, the 21st of March. So we're going to be hearing about both of them, the importance and significance of both.
Yes, Rhea, we're definitely rocking our socks.
Yeah, we are. And I wish you could put your foot I don't know.
We're definitely rocking our socks.
It's
and,
I just want
to remind persons, and as we're seeing on screen there, Ties and Knots, as well as the Peter's Family Foundation presents World Down Syndrome Day 2022. Today, rock your socks from Ties and Knots. And this is featuring Jeremy Peters and Gabrielle Woods. And I really want to remind persons, as was shared with me a few years ago, when I too started joining this support initiative. It's not just about wearing your socks.
No.
It's not just about wearing your socks, but it's really about lending that kind of extensive or greater support to the challenges and to the cause, in order to really make every effort to make a difference, and most importantly, Rhea, as I like to say, to make everyone comfortable within the society. I firmly believe we all have our place in the context of how we operate in this world by God's grace, and therefore we have to respect each other, no matter the circumstances or situation. And I make that statement,
That's right.
No qualms at all. Some people may say otherwise. I do business. I always say it here, I do business. We've got to respect each other. So I'm really hoping, beyond just the socks, lend your support to the work of these organizations to continue to help and to assist.
That's right. And Julian, I want to continue. I want to reiterate what you're saying here, and I want to commend schools like Scarborough Secondary School, and I'm sure there are other schools out there that would be taking up the initiative today. But Scarborough Secondary School is allowing students today to rock their socks. They have to pay a small fee.
Beautiful.
And this is a contribution towards the network, I understand, but they're able to rock their socks today. So organizations, establishments, business places, encourage your workers, rock your socks.
Beautiful.
And
Scarborough Secondary School, our alumni area.
Yes, that's right. That's
our
right.
alumni, certainly, man.
That's
Shout out
right.
there to Scarborough Secondary School. And as you rightfully said, it's possible that other schools are doing it. But we know for sure that Scarborough Sec is involved today within the initiative. Very good.
All right. And there is Leanna Alexander. Leanna Alexander owns and operates a school for special needs students right there in Signal Hill. And I want Tobago to throw their support behind her. We're going to get some more information as the morning unfolds so that you can lend your support. Now, when we rock our socks, that's one thing. Yes, we take pictures and we post it. But what happens after? Special needs students still need extra. They need special items, special education, special apparatus, special equipment. So it's going to cost some money. So I'm just saying here, Tobago, in as much as we're rocking the socks and looking good and everybody's all out there, funky socks in it, let's throw some money behind this initiative as well, okay? Put our monies where our socks are.
Well said, Ria. Well said indeed. Ria, what you mentioned also today's World, is it?
Forest
Day.
Yes.
That's interesting, and I'm particularly looking forward to our upcoming interviews, and the clips and so on, to give us a real sense as to what this would capture. It seems like these days are coming so fast and furious.
Definitely.
so quickly. But important that is, the opportunity for us to really recognize in terms of making that connection. And I'm told in relation to, I suppose he should be able to give us a little insight into it. We're speaking today about the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program launch, and we'll be chatting with Barry Lovelace, chairman of the Tobago Reforestation, Watershed and Rehabilitation Program. And he would have been recently appointed with this new administration in terms of their drive and mandate, and we look forward to hearing a bit from that end. And Ria, who else can we look out for this morning, Ria?
But Julian, we should be having persons connected with the Down Syndrome Family Network, or DSFN. That's right.
And even if we got it wrong, they'll help us correct it when we get on.
We're supposed to be chatting with them this morning. And parents, Tobago parents of a child with Down syndrome, and really having some insight into the life of a child with Down syndrome. We look at it on the outside, and everything may seem chaotic, it may seem not so chaotic, but the story behind, and they're going to be sharing a little bit more with us on that.
And Ria, at this point, I also want to highlight the fact, Ria, the shirt this morning.
You got to check out Checkpoint.
The combination of, Ria, is this gold or yellow?
I'm seeing gold.
I'll leave it up to you, the lady. This is gold, and it's combination this morning. And I was told, this color is it plum?
That is actually plum, yeah.
Yes. So they'll be very proud at me at Checkpoint this morning.
When I was growing up, it was straight colors, burgundy.
Yes.
But now we've got plum.
But the entire team up there at Checkpoint, and they say, no, well, if you're going to mention it, it's plum in terms of the jacket and the combination of the shirts to match.
I got you now.
Really passion up there for clothes and ensuring that you have the experience.
And the particular colors.
Yeah, it's very much so. It's like from the time you enter the doors up there at Checkpoint, the staff goes into that mode, and that's with every individual that enters, whether you purchase or not. So we want to remind persons, shirt and blazer this morning, courtesy Checkpoint, located at Upper Main Street in Scarborough. Contact number 639-5148. And I say, don't worry, go and see what they have to offer. In fact, Ria, I'm going to put things on the spot a little bit. Tell them Julian Ski from Tobago Update sent you. They might get a little something more. Tell them Julian Ski from Tobago Update sent you, man, for any occasion, for boys right up to men. All right, so thank you very much there again for one of our additional sponsors coming on board, Checkpoint. We are any birthdays this morning?
We do. In fact, we've got a lovely, I've got two birthdays to shout out this morning. Firstly, am I getting that picture? I'm not getting that picture clearly. I need to get that girl's picture. We're not getting that picture. That's right. That's the picture that we want to see. And this is Soraya Lawrence, firstborn of Garnet Lawrence and Tanessa Fraser Lawrence. Yes, Soraya celebrated her birthday over the weekend. And I think she turned 6. So happy birthday going out to you, Soraya. Lots of love from mommy, daddy, granny, grandpa, Judah, uncle and auntie. Love going out to you.
This is beautiful, and I know the parents very well.
Yes.
And if I know this and how they speak about their children, she's going to make sure that they have a heavy schedule today. In fact, they have to plan activities to keep her engaged.
She was giving me the secret. She said,
for the birthday.
Mommy and Daddy are supposed to take me on a boat, a real boat.
So
And then
that's excellent indeed.
That's right. And my good friend here, Philip Daniel, celebrating his birthday, and this is the husband of Sean Devines Daniel, celebrating his birthday. Well, I think he celebrated yesterday. So Phil, lots of love going out to you. Have a really great time. I know Sean is going to ensure that she, you know, everything that she does for all those people at Flawless, she's going to do for you.
This is a good opportunity for me to say, Sean continues, both Sean and her husband continue to epitomize. I don't know, there's that fountain of youth that they are enjoying.
Drinking from. I need to drink from it as well.
Very, very much so. And Rhea, this one, you also want to drop some birthday shout-outs. Going out to... we have Positive's birthday was over the weekend, so we want to wish Joel Murray, Positive, representing us there locally, nationally, and internationally throughout the region, making us proud. One of our young sons here in Tobago. We want to wish you birthday celebrations. Also, we'd have had Marva Celestine celebrating her birthday. Marva is like another mother to me. All right, I want to send birthday shout-outs to Marva Celestine. And today in particular, I want to send birthday shout-outs to my colleague in Rotary, Dexter Trim, Rotarian and past president. Dexter Trim continuing to make a difference, having served in this organization, Rotary organization, for a number of years. And most persons may probably know him within the tourism sector. Birthday shout-outs to you. And I also want to give birthday shout-outs to my stepdad, Selwyn Pilgrim. All right, Selwyn Pilgrim, wishing you a happy, happy birthday and God's continued blessings every step of the way. We'll connect. We'll be connecting later on.
All right. So we're getting right into things.
Yes, 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 because they'll be shouting in our ears shortly. Rhea, you want to take us out of this segment?
Viewers, we've got lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards. To our top story.
Tobago Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains. When
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides Marine Industry.
Tobago
fishermen.
When will the
Sion Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
Of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window
at the island,
treasures
like the Golden Waterfall,
to rise in Tobago.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome to the oldest forest reserve in the Western Hemisphere, the Tobago Main Ridge Forest Reserve. The rainforest was proclaimed a legally protected forest reserve on April 13, 1776. The area spans approximately 17 kilometers from Mason Hall on the southwest to Charlottesville on the northeast of Tobago, and it occupies 3,937 hectares of land. This designation resulted due to two very important men in the history of Tobago. Mr. Stephen Hales, a British scientist who showed the correlation between trees and rainfall, and Mr. Some Jennings, a British parliamentarian who was influenced by this concept. Mr. Some Jennings, being the Minister of Trade and Plantations, lobbied to have this area conserved for 11 years, from 1765 to 1776. There are three types of tropical rainforests in the reserve: the lower montane forest, lowland forest, and the xerophytic forest. The lower montane forest occupies most of the area. It is exposed to very high winds, low temperatures, and high levels of rainfall. The lowland forest experiences abundant growth and is the most fertile of the forest types in the area. The xerophytic forest is the driest of them all. There are a number of flora and fauna that can be found in the Main Ridge Forest Reserve. There are 16 species of lizards, including the ocellated gecko, which is endemic to the area. Approximately 16 species of mammals, 24 species of non-venomous snakes, including the Tobago stream snake. Amphibians, for example, the bloody-bayed poisonous frog, which is now threatened, and approximately 265 species of birds, which include our infamous white-tailed saber-winged hummingbird and one of our national birds, the cockacrow of Rufus vented shakalaka. The white-tailed saber-winged hummingbird is endemic to Tobago. The population declined after Hurricane Flora struck the island in 1963. This resulted in the declaration of the species as rare by the Environmental Management Authority in 2005. However, over the years, the species have been increasing in numbers. Some features of interest in the Main Ridge Forest Reserve includes tributaries, the trapdoor spider, homes of birds within the banks, for example the Tobago mutmut and the rufous-tailed jacama, relics of the old bridge used by villagers, the newly constructed platform and the renovated bridge, which was originally built in 1958. Both the gold and silver waterfalls, and various birds being sighted on the trail. Some of the usage of the Main Ridge Forest Reserve includes bird watching, nature walks or hikes, hunting, and scientific research, which must be permitted by the Department of Natural Resources and Forestry. Some accolades of the Mainridge Forest Reserve. Oldest legally protected rainforest in the Western Hemisphere. Voted the world's leading ecotourism destination by the World Travel Awards in 4 years, 2003, 2004, 2005, and 2006. It was also voted the world leading green destination for 2 years, 2007 and 2009. The Mainridge Forest Reserve is managed by the Department of Natural Resources and the Environment of the Tobago House of Assembly.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning.
Viewers, and welcome back. It's 7:25 a.m. and yes, you'd have just seen that entire segment there on World Forest Day 2022. And in this segment, we are chatting with none other than Barry Lovelace, chairman of the Tobago Reforestation, Watershed and Rehabilitation Program. And just before we go even dive into the program, morning to you, sir. Morning.
Good morning. And I love that billboard. Good morning.
Morning. That's what we're talking about. Before we even dive into your area of focus for today, as per the launch that's taking place on World Forest Day, let's start by just giving us a sense of the significance. World Forest Day, what's the significance behind it?
Well, World Forest Day, it was instituted by the United Nations. I can't remember the year of institution, but it happens every year since then on March 21st, right? And every year you have a different theme. And interestingly, the theme for this year is forests and sustainable consumption, or production and consumption. Production first and consumption. And it's a very fitting theme given what we are about to speak about.
All right, excellent. So the clip we'd have just been looking at captures a very significant and special part of Tobago. Tell us a little bit about where it is, and the significance, to us here, something to be proud of.
Yes. Well, we have a very special natural heritage in the rainforest, in that it's the oldest protected rainforest in the Western Hemisphere, right, since 1776, right? And that's something to boast about. Not only that, but recently during the COVID lockdowns, while there was a cloud of darkness, I should say, there was a silver lining in that area, that whole northeastern area of Tobago was designated a Man and the Biosphere Reserve, which gives it now even more special significance, right? And it also includes our reefs and so on. So that's something to celebrate.
Excellent indeed. For the benefit of our viewers, you are chairman of the Tobago Reforestation, Watershed and Rehabilitation Program.
Yes.
Which division does this fall under?
Yes. Well, that name in itself is a mouthful. We simply say Tobago Reforestation.
Right, okay, Tobago Reforestation, good.
And the department, the division that it falls under is yet a bigger mouthful.
Yes.
The Division of Food Security, Natural Resources and the Environment, and Sustainable Development.
And that's Secretary
Yes.
Letitia Charles Party.
Yes.
Okay,
and from now on, I'll say the division.
Fair enough. We know that as chair of this board, there would have been a recent appointment of this board in terms of seeking to drive that mandate. Of course, we know that at the end of the day, the administration is responsible for policy, and then you have technical officers seeking to guide and to deliver. Tell us about the broad mandate about the Tobago Reforestation in the first instance, and then we dive into the launch that will be taking place today. What's the mandate of this board?
Right. Well, first, just to give a little history, right? Tobago Reforestation has its history going way back to 2004, right? Nice. And that would have been with the National Reforestation and the Watershed Rehabilitation Program, right? Of course, over the years, it has gone through some evolution, have its ups and its downs. The Tobago leg of the program would have continued and would have evolved to where it is now. And of course, the goal of the program is to generally increase forest capital. Right? We have reforestation, agroforestry, and so on. However, I would say that today we have a deepened or wider mandate right? And the way I like to put it, we are not only interested in rehabilitation of forests and watersheds, but we also having a focus to rehabilitate people and minds, in this renewed vision.
Excellent, excellent. Tell us now as we dive in specifically, today we have the launch taking place
Yes.
of the program. What can persons look forward to?
Right, so the launch is happening today, and I mean, it's a fitting day to have a launch like this. It will be happening at 10 a.m. at the Botanical Gardens. And mind you, we think that will be in the next couple of months. We probably having another event there, which to launch our new home. Right. So it's quite significant. And well, we have invited a few significant persons. I think the chief secretary is supposed to be there. Ms. Panton, the secretary for the division, that will be addressing and so on. And we'll be engaging in a tree planting exercise afterward.
All right, excellent. And this ties in most definitely in terms of the connection to World Forest Day 2020. Intentional at that?
Yes,
All right,
as well.
Excellent.
Yes.
One of the areas I want to delve into, and you spoke to it in terms of looking at that new home. Where are you all potentially looking to give consideration in terms of the new home?
Well, that building at the Botanics there has been empty for a while now, right? So we thought it best. It's also a sort of strategic move in that we see the botanical garden. It needs some rehabilitation in itself, right? And we think
will
that
the botanical gardens also fall under the Tobago Reforestation?
Yes.
Good.
Actually, it's under the Department of Forestry.
Good.
Right? And that point, right, the Tobago Forestation Company, and I should say Tobago Reforestation is a non-profit company. Right? It has been incorporated as a non-profit corporation under the Tobago House of Assembly. And so it has a mandate to assist and support the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources and the Environment and Sustainable Development in carrying forward its mandate. Right? And so right now the Department of Forestry has control over the botanical space, botanical garden. And we've been there, we'll be active collaborators with them. Right, in that we have a very similar mandate. As a matter of fact, we have our mandate integrates with all the departments under that division. Agriculture in terms of supporting food security, right? Natural resources and the environment as it relates to forests, the upkeep of forests, planting of forests.
And I want to touch on, for the viewer that is not as in touch with, reforestation, tell us just very quickly, as they say, you hear Tobago reforestation. What does that mean if you have to define that in 1 or 2 lines?
Okay. Well, it has to do with forests and the upkeep of forests, vegetation cover, right? As we said, we are very proud of our natural reserve, and it's there, intact. However, there's another part of Tobago that has not been so fortunate. Right. For example, that whole Corlan area there, that Corlan watershed. Right? Historically, you would have had sugar plantations and so on over the years, and so it's now denuded. Right? There are had just grass and so forth. Every year, it's subjected to forest fires and so on. Right? And so part of the effort is to replant trees in those areas, right? And when we're talking about trees, I should say a big part of what we want to do is to stimulate that conversation in Tobago about the need to plant trees.
Yes.
Trees, useful trees, forest trees, as well as fruit trees, right? And I just stick this plug here, and if you're planting fruit trees, you might as well plant a breadfruit tree. You have one?
Not yet.
Not yet. Well,
I should say I have it at my family home in
Right. Okay.
Definitely something popular in the area. Very quickly, as we wrap, final 30 seconds.
Yes.
What is the main achievement that you hope for as chairman within your tenure as chairman of the board for the Tobago Reforestation?
To rehabilitate people. Right? And when I say that, of course, we'll be bringing on young people, young men especially, who are I think are endangered in some regard. Right? Young men and young women, we bring them on. Of course, they will be participating in projects, reforestation projects, agroforestry forestry projects. But a significant portion of their time, we want to engage them in training and socio-economic development, so that when they leave the program, when they are weaned from the program, we do not intend to keep them forever. When they are weaned from the program, they are now very productive citizens, entrepreneurial and so on. Give them training in financial literacy, how to open a small business and to manage it, those kind of things. So I think if we are able to achieve that, we'd have achieved our goal.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
And folks, you know, I've had the opportunity to engage with Mr. Barry Lovelace in another space and place. And as I said to him early this morning, I'll say to him here on here, it's like he eats, sleeps, and breathes this very naturally in terms of representing. And we want to wish you all the best here coming from Tobago.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us. And to remind our viewers, 10 a.m. this morning is going to be the launch. Go ahead.
And I'll probably go to checkpoint before I go down there.
Checkpoint would be happy to hear that. Checkpoint 639-5148. But we also want to remind you that we will be coming live here from Tobago Updates for the launch at 10 a.m. this morning. So therefore, while you're out there, by the time we have finished this show this morning, the Tobago Updates morning show, we give you a chance to just pause, grab a bite, complete some work that you may be doing, but log back on by 10 o'clock for the launch of this program. Thank you very much again, Mr. Barry Lovelace. We also want to remind you to stay tuned. Thank you so much for those of you continuing to join us via TV, via radio, and those of you out there in the social media world and online. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Support brand cleaning products, tough on grind, yet gentle on you. In the kitchen, use only Support dishwashing liquid. Washing your clothes, use only Support liquid laundry detergent. Sanitizing your home, work, or any environment, then Support antibacterial multi-purpose cleaner is the brand for you. Ask for Support detergent products today because we're a family. It's locally made with a great price and everyone needs a little support.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
Rest easy at American Stores. Up to 20% off. Outstanding discounts on selected Serta, Sealy, and Therapeutic mattress brands. Check us out today at American Stores, where we make quality living affordable.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards to
Welcome
our
to
top
Tobago
story.
Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains.
the public is
Nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides Marine in Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion
Roxborough
Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window
Still find
at the islands
treasures like the golden
continue to
waterfall.
rise in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning,
Morning show. It is World Down Syndrome Day 2022, and the theme this year is #Inclusion Means. Now, viewers, we are chatting with a lovely family, some very good friends of ours here, very good friends of mine. We're chatting this morning with Desmond and Curly McCall Woods and their family today as we talk about World Down Syndrome Day. Good morning and welcome to your family.
Morning.
Also joining us on set are their two lovely children, Gabrielle and Danielle. Gabrielle was diagnosed with Down syndrome when she was born. Okay, so we are talking this morning with the entire family. It's good to have you guys with us this morning. All right, let's get right into things. Now, Desmond, Colleen, you guys were a very young couple, just got married, decided to start your family. A few years later, you got pregnant, Colleen. 5 months after. Wow, you guys are really quick on the draw, all right? Really quick on the draw, but, you know, that's good. Quiverful. 5 months later, you got pregnant, and you're having your first baby. During the pregnancy, was there anything unusual about that pregnancy that you can recall?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Ultrasound showed nothing. Everything was normal.
Everything was normal. So, come that day, your baby is delivered, and the doctors say to you, your baby has Down syndrome. What were the thoughts? Can you go back to 11 years ago? What were the thoughts going through your minds at that time? Let me start with you, Desmond, and then I'll come to Kirby.
Well, when Gabby was born, we saw the features, and then the doctors would have told us that there's a possibility that she might have Down syndrome. They will have to do some blood tests to be sure.
Right.
So immediately I started to do my research to get more information just in case the diagnosis is true, and we move forward from there.
Okay. Really?
Yes. When I told Desmond what the doctor said, he was like, yeah, babes, I done started on my research, and this is what we're going to do, and these are some of the possibilities. So it was nerve-wracking. I was crying because the amount of things that they said could be wrong. It was a real hard pill to swallow at that point in time.
Okay, and I would imagine. Now, hard pill to swallow, there were a couple of things that stood out for me back then. One, it was the fact that you were a young couple, which seemed very unusual for a young couple having their first baby, being born with Down syndrome. I know persons ask the question, well, how old is the mother? Thinking that you may have been in your late 40s at the time, that may have, caused this to happen. I don't want to say caused, but resulted in this happening as one of the factors. You guys, I'm sure you can remember some of the questions that persons asked. How did it make you feel at the time? Was it a bad thing? Did you see it as a bad thing? Were you embarrassed? Were you ashamed? What were some of your
No,
emotions?
I wasn't embarrassed at all, but people could only be people.
Right.
And they were mean comments, but whatever. Yes, it was my first pregnancy. I wasn't ashamed of my daughter. It was just an adjustment with the information that we had to work with at that point in time.
You see, there's a misconception in the statistics. So we hear that if you're over 35, there's a greater likelihood of having children with Down syndrome. But the statistics show that 80% of people who have children with Down syndrome are under 35. So there's a serious misconception on the information that is out there. So being under 35 and having a child with Down syndrome isn't rare. As I said, 80% of people with Down syndrome.
Not as rare as it was before. So you're saying that it's a little bit more common now?
No, it's not more common. It's just that the information that is out there is incorrect. The correct statistics are not out there.
Okay.
So people have a misconception of what people with Down syndrome are. Parents who have children with Down syndrome under 35. Because as it is, the statistics is parents who have children with Down syndrome is 1 in every 800 births. So it is rare. But the people who have children with Down syndrome, 80% of them are under 35.
Right.
And those are the facts.
Okay. Now, I want to thank you guys for being with us today. I know this would have taken a lot for you guys. I know Curly said to me, Rhea, ask Desmond all the hard questions. Don't ask me anything hard. All right? Now, when you look at children with Down syndrome, in fact, the information that you would have had upon Gabby's birth, what information would you have had then about children with Down syndrome that you realize, Gabby may or may not be lining up with? Has she surpassed your expectations? How do you treat her? Give us some insight into the life, the woods life with Gabby.
I had to seriously manage my expectations. So I'll be honest with you, I never thought Gabby would ever be able to read. And now she can read. So there are expectations that you will have to limit. You will want to expose your child to as many opportunities as you can and monitor them and see what they're grasping and what they're not grasping and gradually move forward with your expectations.
Ellie?
Well, because of the limited information at the point in time, we were told that she would not have been able to do anything more than live and exist. But I like challenges, and I did everything possible for Gabby to do. I did everything possible for Gabby to do everything. If we did it this way and she didn't catch it, back to the drawing board, we did it another way.
And you ensured that she was able to grasp whatever you were trying to do.
Yes, we did it in song, we did it in dance, we hopped, we did everything possible.
All right. Now, I think we're gonna switch a little bit over to Glenn Niles, who is the founder and chairman of the Down Syndrome Family Network. He is on the line as we speak, so we just want to bring him in on the conversation at this point. Glenn Niles, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes. I hope the connection is coming across well.
Pretty good. So, Glenn, tell us about the Down Syndrome Family Network. And just remind our viewers here, I mean, we'd have chatted with you many years ago, but remind our viewers of the significance of this network.
Well, the significance of the network and the significance of having the United Nations proclaim the 21st of March as World Down Syndrome Day is a 10-year relationship, because the United Nations commissioned the 21st of March in September 2011. So the 21st of March 2012 was the first day for World Down Syndrome Day, and it was also the launch. That was the day that we launched the Down Syndrome Family Network. So we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and we definitely will be in Tobago tomorrow, and to continue those celebrations and for the rest of the week. Now, the whole thing, I love hearing parents say what I just heard. You know, these parents talking about their whole approach to when their child was born, because it kind of reflects on my story. And, you know, you're not getting the information, you look for the information, you find it, and then you do something about it. You know, we don't sit back, we don't blame the government, the ministry, whether it's the division of health and social services, the division of education. You know, we're not blaming anybody. Our child is our responsibility. And the main thing with having a child with Down syndrome, to me, and it worked well for me, is not treating them special, not treating them any different, allowing them to learn, grow, and be empowered. That is key, because too many people, they think that they are doing the best thing for their child by treating them special and by doing everything for them. And they very effectively do what we consider loving them to dependency, because they never truly become independent. And we see too much of this. And as opposed to when I travel and go to conferences abroad by organizations who have been advocating for persons with Down syndrome for years, and I am able to sit and talk with self-advocates with Down syndrome just how I'm speaking to you. I don't have to speak slowly. I don't have to use hand signals, and they can understand everything I say and respond as well. And granted that everybody is different, but the main reason for them being like that is because they have the advantage of living in an inclusive society where they have an inclusive educational system and they have a lot of opportunities, guided, of course, by policy and legislation, you know, for people with Down syndrome and other disabilities to be included. And that is what is sorely lacking here. So that is the main difference. We've
Very
seen
quickly
that a
here.
lot of the older advocates, yes,
Yes, because we're running out of time here, Glenn. But hashtag inclusion means, and that's the theme for 2022. What is the
yes.
message? What is the message that you would like to leave with our viewers out there? Hashtag inclusive means.
All right, just what it says. It's all about inclusion. You see, a lot of people use the word inclusion, but they don't know what it means. If you are a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, you are supposed to have the same rights as any citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, whether you have Down syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, or physical disabilities, visually impaired or hearing impaired. You still have rights. And one of the main rights that is infringed upon initially is education. Now, we don't have an inclusive educational framework. And there are a lot of reasons why they say this is not possible. But I always say that all the education and experience that goes into finding those reasons, we can also use to find solutions to let's make it possible. And that is the key factor with inclusion. Because if you are not educated, you cannot be integrated. We have children who have been segregated from birth. If it's not the parents keeping them home, it's society relegating them to a life of segregation by putting them in a special school. So it's from the school to home. So they don't get to know society. Society does not get to know them. And society continues with all the myths that about persons with Down syndrome without actually knowing that, hey, persons with Down syndrome can learn, they can function, and they can bring value to the community, which we've seen happening in other countries and which we've actually seen happening in Trinidad and Tobago. We have our other hashtags are presumed competence, and of course, instead of thinking that somebody has a intellectual disability and thinking that they cannot do this, we presume competence. We presume that they can. And that way we give them the opportunity to reveal their true potential. Because I can't look at you and say that you can't swim or you can't run upstairs or anything that you can do, because I don't know. The only way I'll find out if you can do it is to let you try. And this is what inclusion means. Give them the opportunity to show us their potential. Not everybody with a disability needs to go to a special school. Granted, there may be some of them, but there is no assessment. They just, it's a blanket approach that's used. That, okay, the person has Down syndrome, they have autism. We have people with autism who are brilliant, they are prodigies, and yet we box them away in a special school where we never know exactly what they could do. I have a friend with autism. When they did her assessment, she was struggling with English, but she did every mathematical equation up to add maths. And her daughter was only 13 years old. Now, what would have happened if they just put her in a special school because she has autism and because she will be stimming and because she will be humming to herself? Oh, that will be a distraction to the rest of the people in the class. Well, listen, that is what the rest of the people in the class needs to understand. They need to learn about people with Down syndrome, with autism, and they need to know that these people are part of society and we will be interacting with them. And they are not a bother, they are not a pain, they don't need to be put away and, hidden away from the rest of society. So that's why the main theme for the conference today and tomorrow in Tobago is all about inclusion and what it means to us.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you so much for chatting with us. And of course, we will be connecting with some of your folks tomorrow, because I know that conference is going to be held here in Tobago at the Anne Mitchell Gift Auditorium at the Scarborough Library. So we're going to talk more about that tomorrow on our program. But thank you so much for joining us for that segment. I want to come back here to Desmond and Curleen and to Gabrielle and Danielle. And I want to ask Gabby some questions here. Now, Gabby, you've got dreams and goals just like everybody else. You're now 11 years old. Tell me some of the things that you do. What are some of the things that you do on during the day and during the week? What do you do?
I just play my birthday and with my friends.
You play?
I spend my birthday and my friends.
Play with Danielle and her friends.
She plays with Danielle and her friends. And what else do you do?
Well, I just with my family, but I'm so excited.
I heard she's so excited. Okay. Now, I noticed some videos within the last year or so. What is it, Gabby? Was cooking? What was she doing? What were you doing?
I just color.
Color? Mm-hmm. And do you help mommy in the kitchen?
Well, I just set out to participate for the skills challenge.
She still has?
She's doing 24 hours girls challenge with mommy.
She's doing a 24 hours girl challenge with her mommy. What is that about, Curleen? TikTok stuff. Okay. Gabby is TikToking. Gabby, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a hairdresser.
A hairdresser. All right. Natural hair. What kind of hair are you talking about?
Girl style.
Girl styles. Okay. Girl, I think I might just have to come to you because you see, I don't even know what to do with mine. I'm going to have to come to you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, I really want to thank you guys for being with us. And even as we talk about hashtag inclusion, what does it mean for you both, for your family, to have Gabrielle included in life, giving her that opportunity? Do you foresee Gabby having that opportunity here in her time?
It's been a challenge. So, for example, getting her into a nursery school was a challenge. Nobody wanted to take her.
Wait, stop. Please, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that, please, Desmond?
It has been a challenge getting Gabby into a nursery school.
How many schools did you seek out? Don't tell me the names, just tell me how many schools.
A dozen, and eventually one took her, and then later on we got her into another one. And even getting her into a primary school was a challenge. She would have done the assessment. She was at the level of a normal 5 or 6 year old, and they still wouldn't take her. Eventually we got her into one. But it has been a constant challenge, so it's something that we have to constantly work on with the authorities. And hopefully, with time, mindsets would change, and as Glenn would have said, legislations would change to allow for these obstacles to be removed.
And right now, Gabby is a student at the Mighty Minds Inclusive Learning Center.
Yes.
And this is Auntie Liana Alexander.
Yes.
How long has she been a student there?
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. And tell me very quickly about some of the improvements that you've seen in her since she's started attending there.
Well, as I would have mentioned before, she can read now, and she's more. The school is inclusive, so it's not only for children with disabilities; it's for children with learning deficiencies. So she has been included. She is able to go to school with normal children.
Right.
So she would learn different skills and practices that normal children would know. So she does art, she does singing, and well, she's a dancer. She loves music. So she's doing ballet now. Gradually, there are improvements in Gabrielle's abilities.
Thank you guys for joining us. And what is that one message that you'd like to leave with our viewers? I realize every time I ask a question, Shirlene, it's over to you. She pouts her lips and she looks over like, Desmond, you got this. So what is that one message that you'd like to leave with our viewers this morning?
Continue to lean on Jehovah for strength, continue to lean on God for guidance, and continue to lean on your support system. One of the blessings that we have is that we have a really good support system, from family to friends to the body of Christ. So lean on him and he will guide.
All right. I just want to put out the number for Mighty Minds Inclusive Learning Center. That number is 770-5208. Viewers, after you've rocked your socks, and I'm rocking my socks this morning. Yeah, Anton? Yeah, I'm rocking my socks this morning. I couldn't wear them with my sandals. They wouldn't fit, but I'm rocking my socks. After you've rocked your socks, what next? Okay, so throw some support behind them. So you can give her a call, 770-5208. They need money. Put your money where your sock is, okay? All right, so lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We go over now to Devon Adana with This Day in Tobago History.
This day in Tobago history. Did you know that on March 20th, 1766, the first lot of land was sold in Tobago? According to the history of Tobago, written by a former Chief Justice of Tobago, Henry Iles Woodcock, 256 years ago yesterday, the first grant of land recorded in this island was sold to James Simpson, who was the chief surveyor charged with surveying Tobago and allotting her divisions and parishes. Of the sale, William Young, a later governor of Tobago, would state in his private journal, and it is to be remarked that the lot was brought forward and purchased by Simpson, the surveyor, who could best appreciate the comparative value of lands in each division of the island. The lot of land Simpson bought comprised 500 acres located at number 1 Corland Bay in the parish of St. David. The lot was sold to Simpson by General Robert Melville, who was then the Governor General of Grenada. At the time, the government of Grenada comprised the islands of Grenada, the Grenadines, Dominica, St. Vincent, and Tobago. A further 11 lots in the Barbados Bay Division were sold at the same time. The purchasers were to pay a deposit of 20% on the purchase money at the time of purchase, 10% in 1 year after the execution of the grant, and a further installment of 10% within the second year. And the residue of the purchase money was to be discharged by annual payments of 20%. On failure in any of these payments within 3 months after they should fall due, the land was to be resold. To prevent monopoly, no purchaser was permitted to engross more than a single lot. You've been watching This Day in Tobago History. My name is Devon Adana. Back to you.
Hi, good morning, Devon Adana. Thank you so much there, making that connect with us this day in Tobago history. I didn't catch Devon early enough to see those socks, Rhea.
No, we did not.
Viewers, this is Rhea. This is one of those kind of mornings, you know what I mean? And Rhea said to me, Julian, before you step onto the rug, move your shoes, please. And Ria, I particularly loved that interview that you would have done there. Your area, you're getting everybody seeing me clearly here now.
Yeah, we have to take the shoes off,
shoes off,
so we can see
shoes
those
off.
socks.
I really loved, and I was saying as I was sitting there listening to the interview, I love your family touch with that interview, Ria.
Oh,
yeah, it really brought out, and you know, I think that's why persons are so well connected to Tobago Updates. We do it different here.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. So just before we highlight these lovely ladies who are rocking their socks as well, we've got a couple birthdays to shout out here.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got one here, Andrew Finley, and I think this one is close to you.
Yes. That's the young one of Alana Finley there, certainly, and I'm sure she's so proud. He has grown up so quickly. Alana, I can see you looking proud now. Sending out birthday shout outs.
As well, Roy O'Neill of Betsy's Hope, Tobago,
Ria in the East. Ria in the East.
But I'll tell you, this gentleman has been a father to me and my family. He and his wife and his family they really took us in when we moved into the East. And I want to say lots of love going out to you, Daddy. I call him Daddy. All right, Roy O'Neill, right there in Betsy's Hope, Tobago, and really a man among men. I love you, and I'm just letting you know here that we love you, Ryan, Afisha, and Larry, we love you, your children, your grandchildren. Yes. So love going out to you this morning. And Marie loves you. You know that, Roy, you know we ain't playing that, but yeah, we ain't playing that. So love going out to you.
Is there any family in the East that you are not connected to?
You know, there's some people that really hit home. So good morning to you, Giselle Alexander. Good morning to you, darling. All right?
It's been a beautiful morning. It's been a beautiful morning. We sing the socks out. Well, I know
that's right. Step them out.
Yes, definitely. Ria, they would be familiar with Julian and Ria and Candice.
Right.
Ria, who else do we have on set?
We've got Talia.
So you on see, the team here with us at Tobago Updates.
Stick them out.
Yeah.
And that's the lady on the end there. Cassie, that lovely lady. Yeah, that one with the short polka dots. Yeah, short polka dot socks. Cassie is the lady who has us looking so good on a morning now. So we couldn't do it on our own.
And she's ready for anything, anytime. Well, that's the beauty of it. She's always ready for anything. She even helped me last week when we had to do the testing down there at Cafe Down Low. Or the tasting, I should say. She's always ready. Yeah. I've got to love Cassie.
Yeah. She's willing to jump in. And sometimes when there's alcohol around, she's first in line.
But she can handle. Ria, what's important is she can handle. She's not like Ria when you just smell the cork, we have challenges.
But it's all good.
It's certainly been a beautiful day here on the Tobago Updates morning show. As well, and we want to remind persons, we go live from 10 a.m. with the launch of the Tobago Reforestation, as we would have had on this morning, Chairman Barry Lovelace, for reminding persons to make sure and tune in at 10. In fact, anytime you see Tobago Updates go live, you know it's important. Tune in.
That's right. So we are getting ready to wrap up. So I just want you guys to come on, come on, rock 'em. Yeah, Candice, Candice, you're rocking these really cool.
Ria is the only one that can have me out of my house without shoes on air.
That's right. And we're taking it. We are taking it as it comes. All right?
Yes. And we also got Ria, the police consultation taking place at 7 p.m. tonight. So we're going live again from Tobago Updates. What did I say to you, viewers? Whenever we go live, make sure that you connect with us. Where the love and support is amazing.
All the time.
Yes.
So viewers, have a really great day. Stay safe on the roads. Remember to wear your mask. In fact, rock your socks. Rock your socks. Wear your mask. Sanitize and socially distance.
Because I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick. Never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently. Sing